નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. 10th Subject Science, Chapter 7, Control and Coordination. See, control means you are knowing the control. Coordination means what? Working together. Coordination. Coordination means working together. See, dear students, in the previous chapter, we have looked at life processes. Life processes means digestion, excretion, reproduction. So these are all or nutrition involved in the maintenance functions in the living organisms. So all these processes are maintaining or running our living organisms used to lead their life. There we had started with the notion we all have. Notion. The sentimental we have is that if we see something moving, it is alive. So by looking the someone, and we are saying that it is moving. Okay. Some of these movements are in fact the result of the growth also. See, some of the movements we are by the growth we are identifying. For example, by the growth we are saying or the body parts are growing, so then you are saying that is a growth or that is a living, as in the plants. For example, plants are growing, then we will say the living. So then we are saying they are living. A seed germinates and grows. See, seed is germinating, okay, becomes younger and then grows. And we can see that the seedling moves over the course of a few days. See, after that, seedling moves, like it grows slowly. And then other things, what we are looking, it pushes the soil aside. It pushes the soil on one side and comes out of that. And comes out from the soil, it comes out of that. But if growth were to be stopped, suppose if the growth is stopped, these movements would not happen. These movements could not possible. Some of the movements, as in many animals and some plants, are not connected with the growth. See, some of the things are only growth, only we cannot say that they are living. Only by the growth we cannot say. Okay, as in many animals and some of the plants are not connected with the growth. For example, some of the actions, like a cat is running. See here, this is not related to the growth aspect. Children's playing on the swings, buffaloes chewing the cud. So you know that what do you mean by cud? Okay, the cud means the portion of the food with the bringing back to the mouth, which bringing back to the mouth. So that is a cud we are chewing. Chewing means what we are saying, to crushing. See, some animals are bringing back their food into the mouth. See, children are playing on the swings. These are all the movements caused by this. These are not movements. These are all movements but not caused by the growth. It is not related to the growth aspect. Why do we associate such visible movements with the life? See, why you are associate? See, you know that in the life, living, your movements are visible. Movements are visible with the life. Okay? Then we are saying, then we are living. A possible answer is that we think of movement is a response to a change in the environment of the organisms. See, the living organism shows movement with respect to the environment, response to, change to the environment, responding to the environment. The cat may be running because it has seen a mouse by seeing to catch the food for the food purpose. Not only that, we also think the movement is an attempt by the living organisms to use changes in their environment to their advantage. You know that by looking the changing in the environment, changes of the environment by the living organism shows the response to them. See, you know that environmental changes, the living organism shows this response to the environmental conditions. For example, you see now plants grows out into the sunshine. See, plants grows towards to the sunshine. Children try to get pleasure and fun out of the swinging. Okay, buffaloes chew the cud to help to break the tough food so as to be digested better. See, these are all the looking to the environmental conditions we are going for, or living beings respond to them. When bright light is focused on our eyes, when we touch at a hot object, so we detect the change and respond to the with the movement in order to protect ourselves. So in order to protect ourselves. If we think a bit more about us, little bit more about us, it becomes apparent, visible that all this movement in response to the environment, this all the movements, it is in response to the environmental changes. Is carefully controlled. See, these are carefully, whatever we are showing to the responding to the environment is carefully controlled. Controlled way also will be there. Each kind of a change in the environment evokes. Evokes means what? EVOKES. Evokes to draw out to it, to bring our attention. Evokes a proper movement, appropriate movement in responding them. When you want to talk our friends in a class, for example, class is running, the teachers are teaching, we are whispering rather than the shouting loudly. If you want to talk there, what you will do, you will go for little whisper voice, slower, low, slight voice you are using. Why you are not shouting there? Because controlling power, control and coordination. Clearly, the movement to be made depends on the event that is triggering it. The movement to be depends upon the event that is triggering. We are activating them with the situation by looking. Okay, clearly the movement to be made depends on the event. Therefore, such controlled movement must be connected to the recognition of various in the response. So, this controlled movement in recognizing the events and the environment followed only by the correct movement on the response. In other words, living organisms must have some systems providing control and coordination. For the control and coordination, proper systems should be there. In keeping with the general principles of the body organization, the multicellular organisms, see, for the multicellular organisms, we have specialized tissues are used to provide this control and coordination activities. If we for the living organisms, especially multicellular organisms, special tissues will be there. So you know that group of tissues becomes systems. Okay, are used to provide this control and coordination activities. Okay, now you will see these are all the introduction part. Now this is animals and nervous system. These are so important now. So in the animals, such control and coordination are provided by the nervous and muscular tissues. See, in the animals, such control and coordinations are provided by the nervous and as well as muscular tissues, which you have studied in the class 9th. For example, touching a hot object. Touching a hot object is an urgent and dangerous situation for us. See, when you are touching the hot object, it is an urgent and dangerous. You are not, see, by touching the hot object, you are not keeping as it is, you are not enjoying them. Urgent and dangerous situation for us. Okay, nobody is liking to them. We need to detect it and respond to it. We need to detect, we need to identify it and respond to them very quickly. How do we detect that we are touching the hot object? Then, dear students, how will you detect or how will we are identifying that we are touching the hot object? All the information from our environment is detected by the special tips. Special tips means specialized tips will be there, extreme ends will be there, specialized tip of some of the nerve cells. The nerve cells extreme tips will be there. Due to that, immediately we are recognizing them. See, these receptors, receptor means specialized cells. are usually located in our sense organs. See, these receptors are usually located in our sense organs. Okay, such as the inner ear will be there. Sense organs, we are knowing what are the sense organs: ear, eye, nose, tongue, skin. So these are all the sense organs. See, these receptors, these specialized cells are usually located, placed in our sense organs, such as the inner ear, the nose, the tongue, and so on. Okay, students. So, gustatory, Gustatory, gustatory receptors, they will detect the taste. See, this the gustatory receptors detecting the taste for us, while olfactory receptors will detect the smells. So, dear students, these both are so important. You have to remember also. See, gustatory receptors will detect the taste, okay, while olfactory receptors will detect the smell. Okay, now see in the ninth also you learned that this one is so important. Nerves, this is the nerve from the nerve cells. Neuron, you are saying. See this neuron, the structures, and this is the there are two processes will be there. One is short process and one is the long process. Okay, short process, what will be there? See the dendrite, and the here center part will be there, nucleus. Okay, what will be there here? Center part, nucleus will be there, and this short process contains dendrite, and these are the cell bodies, and this long process contains axon, and this one is nerve ending. See, this is very important diagram. Okay, students, you have to learn it. This diagram you have to learn. Okay. See, this is the nucleus, and these short projections, dendrite, and the long projection contains axons. So this is the cell body and nerve ending. Here ending, nerve ending will be there. Okay, students. Now learn it. The information acquired at the end of the dendritic tip of a nerve cell, the information is acquiring or gaining at the end of the dendritic tip. See, at the end of the dendritic tip means here. So where will be the dendrite? See, here will be the dendrite tip of a nerve cell detecting this rays, acquiring this, and sets up a what will happen? So later sets up a chemical reaction that creates an electrical impulse. So then it is a nerve cell is chemical reaction takes place that creates an electrical impulse. Okay, impulse is given, a push or sudden force, and this impulse travels from the dendrite to the cell body. So what will happen? This pushes is, or this impulse is travels to the from dendrite to the cell body, then along the axon. See, then along the axon, then to its end. See, look here now. See, dendrite trip acquired the information, and then what will happen? Chemical reactions takes place, and due to the chemical reactions, electrical impulses taking place. This impulse travels from the dendrite to the cell body, then to the axon, and then to its what we are saying cell body, then to its the nerve ending. Okay, then the electrical impulse, then along the axon to its end. So then it reaches to its end part. So, okay, so these are all we'll discuss later, dear students. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for joining us.